Well, sometimes you have those days when you think it's all going gravy and then you find out nothing's going right. Yep, so this right here will mark the end of the carbon clogged intake conundrum due to the correct operation of an EGR valve. Throw that right back in the box. Hello everybody, good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are here. I am super glad to be here. We're making some headway today on the Duramax build. We left off in the last video with some missing valve cover gaskets, which I still do not have. So I've been trying to get things done on this engine without the ability to install the valve covers. What I've done so far, and I did this without you guys looking, I didn't make a video about this part. I slapped on all the accessory drives. We got the power steering pump, we got the AC bracket, we've got the alternator bracket, tensioner, etc., etc. So it was just some accessories up front, and we also managed to get in the non-carbon clogged up Y pipe. That's the replacement, or Y bridge rather. It should be called a Y bridge. It bridges between this intake manifold and this intake manifold. If you guys remember the last video, these are the manifolds that allows the air induction charge to go into the cylinder ports and then ultimately into the cylinder heads. So we got this thing bolted back, or bolted in, not back in, this is the first time it's been here. We got that unit bolted in, hooked up a couple things, got the oil return or the oil pressure line hooked up to the turbo. The VGT solenoid has been installed, and I managed to bolt down the turbo. All that when you guys weren't looking. Like I said, I was trying to make some headway on this thing today. It's not really a productive day around here. We've got one guy out. We've got another guy in here tearing up my floor, and then Dave's outside kind of working on a Chevrolet truck right now. So we got everything out that was in earlier today. Dave and I tag teamed a few things, and now I'm taking the me time necessary to get some more headway done on this project over here. So what I think I'm gonna do, since I do not have the valve cover gaskets yet, is we're gonna come around the back side, and I want to install all the exhaust plumbing from the exhaust manifolds up to the turbo, and then maybe we can even hang the downpipe that runs down to the primary exhaust. So that's I think that's what we're gonna be doing today. So stay tuned. This is gonna be a very good continuing the assembly video. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything with my fuel system in a box right now. I've got all 8 injectors connected to their fuel rails. These guys are just sort of hanging out over here on the frame rails for the time being. All this stuff is hardware for the valve covers, and I can't do any of that work until the valve covers are in position. So we're just gonna have to focus on the back side of the motor and not the front side, or top side, I suppose. So before we get started, let's take a look at the factory up pipe. These are the ones that go from the manifolds up to the turbo to supply the turbo with exhaust gas. These guys are getting replaced. I have a set of stainless steel units right here. You see it's got a little flex expansion joint in it, and it's been covered with titanium heat shielding. That way I don't have to install the factory heat shields similar to this one. They're bulky and they're ugly and they take up some space. So I've got these guys installed on there. That should work out quite well. Okay, so getting started. Naturally, we've got some gaskets here that are going to seal up these pipe connections, and I've got some replacement fasteners to secure the pipes to the turbo and the manifolds. Most of every fastener of any kind of relevance and importance on this truck has been replaced with some ARPs, because they are a much higher grade fastener than the factory stuff. And I like higher grade, especially when it's a performance build. Yeah, you can probably get away with cheapo bolts, but then it looks super ugly. So anyway, here is our replacement up pipe. Let's get this thing kind of fitted. We'll fitment check it first, make sure this is the correct side. It is, but it's upside down. I believe that's going to be just fine. A little tight clearance here at this bolt. I'm going to take this one out. I think this is a bracket bolt, so I might be able to leave it out later on. Yeah, that's about how she's gonna go. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, get one of the bolts ready to rock and roll. Drop one on the ground at least, because that's just the way. Get these oriented properly. Where does it go? I know that this goes here because I just had it fitted. Okay, that goes there with the ears pointed down. Got it. And this other side. Ear pointed down and towards me. That's correct. Got it. Compressor. Got it. So here, what we'll do. We'll take one of the bolts, stick it through. Take a second one. We're going to stick it through, and that's going to locate the gasket so it can't kind of flop around and get out of alignment. We'll set it up. Now, like always, we're going to put all the bolts in before anything gets tightened up. We don't want to have a misalignment of the holes and of the bolts, or flanges rather. Put that guy in there. I'm being very cautious to make sure that there's nothing that I install on this engine that's going to get in the way of installing these valve cover gaskets and valve covers. I would hate to install a bunch of stuff on this engine and then try to put the cover on later just to find out that it will not go on. That would upset me greatly. There's some slight binding taking place, like right here. It's wanting to touch the head just a little bit right there. I don't think it'll be a problem. We're just gonna go with it. Now, being aftermarket, the fitment's not the best, of course. I'm gonna have to flex this flex pipe to get everything to line up here. Tight, tight, tight. Poke my finger. That hurt. Put that bottom one in. Flex. I flexed it wrong. I deflexed it. Is that a thing? Deflexing? What's the antithesis of flexing? Like an unflex? It's not working. Oh man, I was walking around looking for a socket for those 12 points and I felt some stinging and I realized I just sliced my flange open on that little plate gasket thing. This multi-layered steel. See this? Yeah, those little layers can get a little sharp and they got me. That hurts. No worries. Quick trip to the mechanics operating room. We'll get this thing fixed up, no problem. Some electron tape that'll hold the blood cells in. There we go. Good to go. All fixed. Okay, let's try this again. Got a 12-point socket. What I'm gonna do is get the easiest one of these started, I guess, without stripping them out, because that would be bad. That one doesn't want to turn. This is bad. Okay, this one started. That one goes and stops, so we're not in line. Yeah, I gotta stick my head in here so I can kind of see what we're doing. These threads aren't the greatest in this cast iron manifold. I imagine the other side's gonna be doing a little better because that's a new manifold over there. This is the 12 minutes later, and I'm in some deep dookie. Check this out. So here's one of the bolts. Came out of another one of the packages. Here's the bolt I tried to put in that bottom right-hand corner. Do you guys see? Just zoom it in. Look here. One of these is a fine thread, and one of them is a coarse pitch thread. These threads are different. One of these packs of bolts is packaged wrong. That's awesome. So now I have a tap in the hole because I was pulling threads out of that manifold right there, which is super great. Here, let's just give these threads a little bit of a skeet here. Give them some lubricant. You're out here, man? Okay. Yeah, we'll be here at 8 for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good evening. Crack one open for me, man. Now, I already know. I know what you're up to. Who, me? Is that Brian? Hello, sir. Give me 1 second. I'm in the middle of, do I have to buy a new exhaust manifold or do I not? I think it's going to be a not, but I don't like walking away from emergencies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, take your time. I need like 5 minutes. Just dropping off a car and picking a car up. I like it like that. One coming in, one going out. Kind of like this this tap right here. Coming in, going out. I think this is gonna work. Wish I could just stick this on my impact, but I'm afraid to impact on taps because I don't want to break a tap off in the hole. Shouldn't have even said that. Car gods are gonna be like, oh yeah, you don't want to break your tap? Okay. Snap, crackle, bust it right off. So I'm of the opinion that I've got two factors working against me here. There's a boatload of rust on the other side of this hole. I can see the tap coming through. There's a lot of rust there, and I think I'm trying to push through all that rust. And I believe on the way out, when I originally took these apart, it kind of didn't matter, but now that I'm trying to put bolts in it, that's gonna come into play. Taps all the way through, almost. See it right there? So we have repaired threads, which is cool. Yeah, that's fine. So let's give it another squirt here to rinse it out. Get the shavings out of it. So with the proper bolts, yeah, that's good. It's gonna go. 45 minutes later, now we're back on track. Yay! That's how it is though sometimes. That's just how these things go. You get yourself wrecked on occasion. Anyway, crisis averted, saved the day. We've got good looking threads in there. Whoop, focus, you thing. I don't know if it's gonna do it. Well, they're in there. Yeah, it's not wanting to focus. I don't care what it does. As long as I get the bolts in the hole, I'll be fine with that. So, now that I'm done bleeding, sweating, getting poked with fiberglass, and fixing broken, stripped out threads, let's try this again. I'm going to thread in the boogered up one first. The way I know it threads up. We'll pull the part away from the manifold. It seems to help. There. Okay, so I think we're looking better here. You back, Dave?
Yeah, put gas in it. Now back on the starter.
Oh my God! All right. Hang on, let me take care of Brian real quick, and then I'll help you out. Yeah, it's just one of those days. Okay, I think we're back to winning again. That one's going in, and this one down here that was ruined, that one's going in, and our little guy out back, that one's going in. So crisis averted. Now we can get back to what we were doing here. Let's put, I think that's the way that gasket pointed. Yep, just like so. So let's grab 3 more of the coarse threaded bolts, not the fine thread. Don't even know why it's in there. That's the 2020s syndrome, where it shouldn't be that way, but it is. There's nothing you can do about it. I wish I would have checked those first when I ordered them. They've been sitting on my shelf for a month, so I can't send them back because actually it's been longer than a month. I'm pretty sure I can't send them back. I don't even know where I ordered those from either. So now I'm stuck with a package of bolts that I don't need. Okay, this is gonna require some pry bar. See how we're just not right? I gotta pry this thing down some to make it fit. Hey, you never know. You never know, Dave. The devil works in mysterious ways. Push that thing back. See what I'm doing? Pry bar in this thing with a pry bar just to push this back that way. Now I can get this thing to thread up. And folks think they can do this without pulling the cab off. I'm sure someone can do it. I've never attempted such work on diesels with the cab on. All right, bottom bolts in. Okay, all these guys are in, good to go. Yeah, I would never, ever try to do this with the cab off on. Because what happens if you need to get in here? You could, if the cab was on, you could maybe reach your hand down through here, but their firewalls are right there. You're not getting in there. And I know there's brave souls out there that have done it. And there's always that one guy that says he can reach back there, but I'm not that guy. And I'm not trying to be. And I'm not gonna be. Okay, those are all threading up pretty nicely. This finger feels like it's cut too. I know what it is. The stainless steel cut me so bad I'm bleeding internally. That one's being stubborn at the end of the threads. Should probably run a tap down that one too. Yeah, look at that. That guy's... Oh no! My heat shielding is ruining my efforts here. I gotta dig that out of there. Push that way back. It's still gonna pinch right there, but I'm not taking all this heat shield off just to try to avoid that. Oh, I'm gonna have to tighten that one first. I need to pull the thing loose and then get the bolt all the way down on the flange and then tighten it down. Over and over and over again. I just keep doing the same thing. Dude, this thing's killing me, man. What's his problem now? Oh, I know. I took it loose and that's tight, so now it's binding up. That's the problem. Wow. Yeah, that was in there kind of tight. We're good. Give me that. Give it to me. We good now? There. Excellent. We've got one up pipe installed finally. Okay, here we go with our driver's side up pipe. Now, I had to break out some of the old bolts. See that right there? Because I'm now short on the ARP bolts, so I'm gonna have to use, I think, probably 2 of the older ones. These come in a pack of 5. I ordered 3 packs, which means I had 10 total. I used up 6 right there, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that means I've got 5 fine threaded bolts that I don't need. So I'm gonna have to use some of these old ones, reuse those. I don't like that. So what I think I'll do is I'll put these 2 bolts in a place that's easily accessible, like right here in the back of this manifold. That way, when I order another pack of bolts, I can just swap them back out. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Because I can't just let this ride with those crappy old bolts in there. It's just bad form in my guesstimation. So anyway, passenger side pipe, that one's gonna fit right in here like so. That's nice and shiny and pretty. And you can see we're not aligning very well because aftermarket stuff does that. Those holes are lined up, but these ones, not so much. So we're doing more pry bar action. So that being said, I believe I would like to put the bottoms on first because I can pry bar the top, I think. Yeah, I don't really know. You know what, let's just try something, see what happens here. I know I just said I'm gonna do the bottom or top ones first. I changed my mind. We're gonna do this side first. Okay, that one's on. I am taking some of the washers from the ARP kit and using them now. A little bit of uniformity. I like it. Gravity. I like it that way. And there it is. Through the hole. Good. One of the new ones. Through our bottom hole way down there by the Banks oil cooler. This is close quarters combat, you guys. I'll tell you what. I knew this thing was like jam-packed and compact, but this is like a whole nother level. These are gonna get fun right here, definitely. How much headache must I endure to make this thing go? Is the turbo sound. A lot of work just to sound cool, don't you think? Oh, okay, those are in. Now the question is, how about that bottom one? I can't even see it. Nobody can see it. You can't see, I can't see. But it's down there somewhere. There it is. Bolt installation number 347. Universal impacts, or universal drives. Yeah, that one's snugging up. That's good. Okay, that's in. Let's run the rest of these guys down and make it tight. You guys want to see the fastest way to ruin your little wobbly bit? Put it on an impact gun. It'll ruin it every time. Well, not every time, but keep doing that a lot. You tear them up. They don't like being impacted. Now, they do manufacture universals that are impactable, but that one I was using is not it. Like that socket's not an impact socket. It'll be fine though. Huh, okay, I guess we're done. All right, those guys are installed. That's pretty, look at that. Nice and shiny. let's take the downpipe and get that on next. So we've got the up pipes. Let's install downpipe on the back of our 9-blade. Little spinny boy. I've got this one dressed up, very similar to the up pipes. I coated it in titanium header wrap. I don't like the word header. We're gonna call it tubular manifold. That's what we should be calling headers, because they are manifolds and they are tubular as opposed to like a cast iron. I don't like to say header. It's a gross, ugly, dirty word in this world, in automotive world. Some dirt in there. What the heck was that? Yep, and that's gonna fit on like so. And it's supposed to clamp, but I don't have my clamp. That's where she goes. That's our downpipe. So we got up pipes and down pipes. Ooh, that looks like it's getting serious now. We've got plumbing installed and a turbo. Oh yeah, buddy. You know, I'm taking a closer look here, and I do not think I like the look of this this flex expansion joint right here. That's bound up pretty bad. Look at it. It made this turn here. It's like they didn't have this thing extended out far enough, and when I ran the bolts down, it kind of cinched it all down in position. And I think we've got some internal binding here. There's massive internal stresses on this. I don't know if I want to use these pipes. I mean, they're really nice and they're shiny and they're stainless, but I think the fitment's garbage on this. Look at that. And after everything I just said about changing these with the cab on, there's a huge risk factor here now, because that pipe's super binding. This one, how's this one looking? That one's not so bad, but it has the same kind of problems. Man, I don't think I'm gonna run these. I think I may have wasted a half a roll of header wrap and about an hour of my time. I don't want to run these. My fear is, and I'm sure they'll be fine until they're not, I'll run these things and then one of these flex pipes is gonna crack and it's gonna break, and I'm gonna have a massive exhaust leak behind my cab. It won't have any boost. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me, man. Oh, this is frustrating. This is maximum frustrating. And they're not on the wrong side. You can't get them backwards. I did a fitment check before we started putting this together. Yeah, so this is a big waste of time. I just wasted my after hours afternoon on this. I'm not gonna run these pipes. I'm gonna have to get another set. That sucks. But I know better. And you know what? If this is a customer's car, it'd be the same thing. So this just marks the end of a frustrating kind of day. Well, I guess the bright side is I figured this out before I threw the cab on, and this is why this thing's taking me 79 days so far, I guess. Yeah, I think we're done with this one, everybody. I've been defeated by my own truck this time. So that being said, I'm closing out this video. I've got nothing to offer this or you guys, and at this point, other than that's for you. And thank you guys for watching. Actually, not you, I'm talking about those. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I'll try again next time. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and see if I can't get these things returned and order some new ones along with those other bolts that I ruined. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep my tail tucked between my legs and go home and lick my wounds, literally. I mean, I'm probably not gonna lick that, but I've gotta go dress it because there's blood on me. So that being said, as always, one more time, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comment section down below. If you are interested in any other videos on this build series, there'll be a link at the very end screen right up around here somewhere. You click that link, it'll open up a playlist, and that playlist will have all of the videos in chronological order on the build series on this particular truck. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day. In the video. Party over. Day over. Frustration beginning.